Hey, Tony Gasson here. They're popping in. Now listen, a little bit of chronicles of their husband and father life, and just kind of giving that other perspective, because sometimes, a lot of times, men don't talk, and a lot of times we don't talk about this, and just talk about some of the sacrifices that we have to make, for our family. And one of the things that I was thinking about is, when you are a provider, when you're a man who's providing, and you're providing fully, in the sense of you really don't, you trying to push, you working, and I think every man, not every man, but I think most men have this desire to work and get to a point to where his family can do what they need to do and have what they need to have without having too much of, an issue. And that takes a lot of brain power. It takes a lot of brain power. And it takes a lot of focus. It takes a lot of your energy. And as a man, you have to find a way to balance. You gotta find a way to balance to where you can listen intently, and focus and grind on your work. And you still gotta be able to compartmentalize and separate, work from family time. And a lot of times when you're working, especially if you're an entrepreneur, but even if you're not an entrepreneur, if you're working and you trying to build or grow on your company, you have to, it's hard to turn work off. It's hard to shut that down. And your mind always running. And so one of the things I noticed is that a lot of times, my wife, she might be talking to me about something, and if I'm not mindful, I might not be listening, because I may be doing emails, trying to catch up on emails still, even after working all day, trying to catch up on emails. And just depend on the seasons. It was seasons where I feel like I work 7 hours a week, but then it's seasons to where you gotta work 70 hours a week, and it happened in different seasons. And not, well, for some people, yeah, 70 is real. Some people it might be more, and that's where the teamwork come in. So that's where, the wife has to be like, okay, well, I understand what you got to do. I understand the work you got to do. I understand, the food you got to put on the table, the lifestyle you're trying to provide. I understand that. And that's where teamwork comes in, and that's how we make it. And my wife has always been great at that, just understanding what I have to do. And of course, she's a human, and so she wants me to be mindful. And then sometimes too, as parents, on the other side, as parents, we'll put our parent duties will come, and we could put that before any and everything. Yesterday I was on the phone with 2 different soccer calls for my oldest son. And me and my wife was coming back from our trip, and we ain't have much time left. And here I am, got these calls coming in. And it was like, man, we don't get a lot of time together. And here I am on the phone handling my son's business. And so that's another part of the balance of, as a husband and a father, when you trying to do those things and you trying to provide. And I believe it's every man's desire to give their life and to give their life so that their family will have a life, and to have life on the highest level. So if it's something my wife want to do and it costs thousands and thousands of dollars, I want to be able to figure out a way to make that happen. And if it's something my kids want to do, my son, it's companies that take kids on international trips to play soccer. And you go to another country and you do training sessions with some coaches from over there. Y'all gotta forgive me, I'm tired. I had to step out to get breakfast. And that's another thing too, just about real life. You know, sometimes, you know, it's McDonald's. It's McDonald's for breakfast sometimes. And yeah, that ain't your first choice, but you know, depending on that schedule and what you got going on, sometimes that's what it is. And uh-oh, that ain't working. What we got going on here now? Okay, there you go. My little gate thing wasn't working, y'all forgive me. And so here it is, my son, he get to go on this trip, and his fee is $3,250, not including the flight. The flight gonna be another $1,500. Right there, you at $5,000. And then if we want to go with him, it's to London. It's $3,000 for each of us. That's another $9,000, not including our flights. And this flying economy is another $1,500 most likely round trip. So that's gonna be another $4,500. 9,000 plus 4,500. That's $13,500 plus my son 5,000. So you're looking at 18,500. That's before sightseeing. That's before food. And that's if the flight's 1,500. That's on the low end. And because going that far, I got a bad back. My wife got a bad back. So being athletes and stuff all our life. So a lot of times I be trying to fly business class. So you fly business class, the flight is triple the price. So if it's 1,500, your cheapest business class finna be 4,500. I can't fly me and my wife business class in Tatum in economy by itself. So you see what I'm saying? So now, if you want to have that luxury costs. So just on one little trip, one experience for my son, I have to figure out a way to earn $20-some thousand for this trip. Now, yeah, you can do it at the, you know, just make it happen. Economy flights, get, you know, whatever you could get, 2-3 stops, 3 stops, layovers, that's 10 hours. Yeah, you could get that flight, but then now my wife in agony, her back hurt, her feet hurt, and the feet swelling on the plane. My little 9-year-old, he delirious. So it's like, if I could find a way to make this thing a little more comfortable, a little better. My oldest, he got to fly over, you know, he flying with the boys, or he may fly with us, but the team flies together and stuff. So, and that's just one trip now. That's London. May have to do another one, may do another one in July. And then get back to his normal soccer. And in the season, they got a California trip, I think, Atlanta trip, Virginia trip, Texas trip, maybe a New York or New Jersey trip. Just all kind of little trips that you paying for 4 flights, 2 hotel rooms, all that right there. And so I say that to say, this thing get real. This thing get real. And as a father, you got to make that happen. And then sometimes too, when your family be done experience life, you can experience life, and you can, like I just seen his dad out right there. He got his business casual clothes on. He getting up, he take care of his family. I know him on the street. He be out here every day after he get off work. He work a corporate job, look like 9 to 5. And he as soon as he get off work, he outside with his sons, throwing the ball, catching the ball, training them, getting better in their sports, football, baseball, out here working with them. And I think a lot of times when you see men drinking, you see men have different gambling, pornography, different vices. A lot of that comes from the pressure that a man have on him that he don't know how to handle. And that's why if somebody look at me and be like, man, Tony, why you spend all that money on them cars? Man, that's my outlet. That's my reward. It's like I'm not a kid, so it's like I can't get no pat on the back and can't get no whatever. So I have to try to enjoy the fruits of my labor some kind of way. I can't spend it on pornography and prostitutes and drugs, and I don't smoke weed. It's different. If I smoke weed, then I could get that gas. I could get out there and, hey, well, I'm finna get that exclusive. I'm finna get that presidential. But I don't smoke weed, so I get cars. And then a man might look at me like, man, you got a lot of cars. And I could look at him like, well, man, you spend a lot of money on gambling. You spend a lot of money on them prostitutes. So we spend the same amount of money, just going different places. So I want you to understand that money